Hello and welcome back. I've taken a little break from my YouTube channel. I have been processing change, working on new healing modalities, and so now I'm back and I'm bringing everything that I've been curating with me. So today I want to talk about processing difficult emotions in a different way. This year is all about root causes of the negative feelings, emotions, and problems that we're facing. Emotions, though, are an integral part of our lives. The brain also plays a crucial role in how we control and process our emotions. So the limbic system is one of the main parts of the brain that controls our basic emotions. The human brain, combined with our complex energetic system, makes processing negative emotions a difficult road to navigate. So how do we heal negativity when it arises in our lives in a way that's authentic to our continued well-being? Many people in our New Age community, and in fact, many organized religions, suggest methods of spiritual bypassing practices that I believe sidestep or avoid facing unresolved emotional issues, psychological wounds, and unfinished developmental tasks. The truth is, if you're feeling an emotion, there's a reason for it. It's authentic to you. Now, is it healthy and is it necessary? Those are different questions. But if you're feeling an emotion, it's coming from somewhere. It's giving you an opportunity to get a glimpse into what's going on inside of you, and that's a gift. Anything that comes up is looking for you to see it, to acknowledge it, and then to heal it. But because of the complexity of the brain, you're well aware that you can't just stop feeling something, you're feeling it. And when someone tells you you shouldn't be feeling it, it actually adds to the negativity of the situation, because then you start to feel bad, you start to feel shame. So spiritual bypassing is not an option that I ever consider. So we're moving into a new age, an age of integration of body, mind, spirit, that many of us came here to energetically usher in. As a result, it's important for us to understand the science of where negative emotions come from, as well as the tools available to us to heal them and live full, integrated lives. And unfortunately, in order to do that, we're going to have to know a little bit about science. It's really not that complicated, though. It doesn't have to, the brain is a very complicated and complex machine, but we don't have to delve really deeply into all of those processes in order to understand how our brains work, where our emotions come from, and how we can utilize this beautiful gift machine in order to help ourselves heal. So the limbic system is a group of interconnected structures located within the brain, deep. It's also known as the feeling and reacting brain, and its job is to keep us safe. It's a kind of security system for our body. The limbic system it's responsible for gathering information about our present environment, determining if there's a threat, and then signaling to the immune system, hormones, or nervous system to respond appropriately, whether the response be emotional or behavioral. It's also the part of the brain where trauma is stored. And that is why we're talking about the limbic system. So the structures that make up the limbic system are the hypothalamus. In addition to controlling emotional responses, the hypothalamus is also involved in sexual responses, hormone release, and regulating body temperature. The hippocampus, which helps preserve and retrieve memories. It also plays a role in how you understand the spatial dimensions of your environment. The amygdala, which helps coordinate responses to things in in the environment, especially those that trigger an emotional response. And this structure plays an important role in fear and anger. And then the limbic cortex, which impacts mood, motivation, and judgment. So as I said, it's important to recognize that emotions serve an important purpose, not only in our environment, but they're tools that give us a deeper understanding of who we are, what trauma we carry from the past, where we're going, and how we can live our lives authentically and more mindfully. Take fear, for example. Fear is a very important emotion. It helps you respond appropriately to threatening situations that could harm you. The response is generated by stimulation of the amygdala, followed by the hypothalamus. Where the amygdala stimulates the hypothalamus, it initiates the fight or flight response. The hypothalamus sends signals to the adrenal glands to produce hormones such as adrenaline and cortisol. And as these hormones enter the bloodstream, you might notice some physical changes, such as an increase in heart rate, breathing rate, blood sugar, blood pressure, perspiration, or that tightness that you get in your chest. And in addition to initiating this fight-flight response, the amygdala also plays a role in fear learning. This refers to the process by which we develop an association between certain situations and feelings of fear. Or, as I have been talking about for years, triggers. Experiences from the past that are stored or imprinted in the limbic system can trigger an emotional response that is much bigger than what's happening, than the response that's needed to what's happening around us. And this causes us to respond in the present day situation with the events that happened in the past attached. For example, if I've been in an emotionally abusive relationship in the past, and my partner today does something that brushes near to my old wounds by maybe not nurturing me the way I feel I need to be nurtured, I may overreact and cause an emotional storm that's not only harmful to my relationship, but to my partner. And it really has nothing to do with this relationship. I'm bringing my baggage with me from the past. I call this the limbic loop, where the system gets stuck in flight mode. We've experienced trauma, and as a survival mechanism, the limbic remains prepared to protect until it gets stuck in that position. It rewires. And that has to be our healing focus. If you have been working on healing your past trauma and you keep coming back to it, it keeps coming up, it keeps getting triggered, and you're sitting there going, why is this happening? Why can't I heal this? Why can't I heal this? Well, this video's for you. So knowing this gives us the beautiful opportunity to know exactly where to focus our intentions when we're healing past traumas. So that it's more than a feeling or an emotion that we can't seem to put our finger on. Focusing on the specific location of the healing we're seeking to accomplish is far more effective. Much like fear, anger is a response to threats or stressors in our environment. When we're in a situation that seems dangerous and we can't escape, we'll likely respond with anger or aggression. You can think of the anger response as the fight part of the fight or flight response. Knowing this, when we get angry, we have the opportunity to stop before we react. Check in with ourselves to determine where the anger we're feeling is coming from. Why was flight engaged so easily? This gives us a safe environment to engage with the negative imprints we've accumulated over the years and address them. Limbic looping is kind of a catastrophic misinterpretation of our own body sensations. So we slow down, we evaluate, we think, we derive a course of action, and we put that plan into action. We can interrupt an activity that doesn't feel safe by going for a walk, change what we're watching on, YouTube or the TV. Stay away from dramatic movies for a while. Ending conversations or a space that feels too demanding. Instead of reaching for the tools that hurt you, which is negativity, fear, and worry, grab the healthy tool that kind of saves you, readjusts your energetic system, and doesn't harm your vibration. So we learn to modify maladaptive behaviors by choosing healthier alternatives, like regulating breath, grounding and oriented, self-soothing, reciting positive affirmations or mantras, grabbing your pet, calling a friend or someone you love, and tell them you need to be comforted. There are many tools available, and you can find one that works for you. So, fear and caution are intended to be part of a system that contains our inner compass and can be reharnessed into their intended purposes. We've just given them complete control of our lives. But their purpose is to inform our intuition to keep us safe from danger and on the right path. Frustration, such as facing roadblocks while trying to achieve a goal, can also trigger the anger response. Anger starts with the amygdala stimulating the hypothalamus, much like in the fear response. In addition, parts of the prefrontal cortex may also play a role in anger. That's the part of the brain that may also contribute to the regulation of our anger response. The beginnings of romantic love are associated with a stress response triggered by the hypothalamus. It makes sense when you think about the nervous excitement or anxiety you feel when falling for someone. And as these feelings grow, the hypothalamus triggers release of other hormones, such as dopamine, oxytocin, and vasopressin. Dopamine is associated with your body's reward system. This helps make love a desirable feeling. And oxytocin is often referred to as the love hormone. And it's largely because it increases when you hug someone, or have an orgasm, or do something that you find very pleasurable. It's produced in the hypothalamus and released through your pituitary gland. It's associated with sound healing as well. And this is important for trust and building relationships. It can also promote a feeling of calmness and contentment. So we need to strengthen that which is within us to make that possible. The great news is that the brain has the ability to change and essentially rewire. This is called neuroplasticity and explains why some people can recover after serious brain injury and serious stroke. Neuroplasticity also allows for retraining the limbic system to optimize function, which is great news. And it can also reduce the sensitivity of the stress response. Often coupling the treatment with other sound healing techniques and some new things that I'm fixing to be talking about here. But addressing the limbic loop can make a huge difference in our healing process. So, somatic techniques are important tools to de-stress, retrain the brain, and to be more relaxed and kind of nudge the nervous system to respond in a balanced parasympathetic mode instead of being in a fight or flight pattern. So, what does your posture feel like? Are you slumped, rigid, or have a flexibility to your stance? What's your natural heart rate? Is it quick or is it slow? Where do you carry your tension? Does it present as a knot in your stomach, in your chest, in your neck or your back, as a headache, a tingling or twitching? What does that look like for you? What external or internal elements offer a sense of calm to you? Something you love to do, a favorite piece of clothing that you love to wear, a place, someplace on the beach, someplace in the mountains, a certain experience or event that you've had with someone that you love. What external stimulus often triggers you? Are they loud sounds? Is it nighttime? Is it social interactions? The inability to stand up for yourself in conflicting relationships? What does that look like for you? Begin asking yourself these questions to increase your somatic mind-body awareness. Because when you're healing from anxiety, trauma, or experience emotional triggers, can be difficult to feel like your body is supporting you, or like you even know the answer to any of those questions. So become more familiar with yourself. In moments of peace or trauma, inhale and exhale. Notice what you're feeling in and around your body. Notice the speed of your breath, your heart rate, your body temperature. And then think back to a recent moment you felt calm, safe, and really like yourself. Identify at what point in time or which part of your body began experiencing disturbances or stress first. Replay the scenario from calm state to stress state. Identify people, conversations, or behaviors that may have made you stressed, uncomfortable, or that stand out to you as you're replaying this recent event. Tune into your body sensations as you recall the event and slow down and notice if there's any shift in your body, a sensation of tingling, tensing, warming, numbing, emotion, cooling in your chest, arms, legs, face, or an overall change in your body temperature. And then place your hand on the area that's experienced a shift or change and breathe deeply. If it's an overall feeling, you can simply place your hand on your heart. Doing this allows the body to process the somatic experience, and it actually creates a pathway to release the tension. And that's our goal this year, to release and not to store up. Because, we're not steam pots. Eventually that's going to come to the surface. So practice this after upsetting experiences to allow your body to process the emotions and communications of your body. You may also choose to practice this before a stressful situation so that you can identify potential triggers and plan ways to support yourself ahead of time. An important element in healing and getting stronger is inviting your body to help you. And anyone that knows me knows that frequency and sound, I believe, are groundbreaking, powerful tools that are available to us as we work to heal the limbic system. Meditation, neurofeedback, binaural beats that help to reset the limbic state. And it's amazing. Mindfulness, meditation, manifesting to help you reduce stress, reduce pain, sleep better, and increase productivity. I believe that this biofeedback and the binaural beats are amazing tools for those goals. So meditation supports the whole brain, including the limbic system, and allows the brain to regenerate cells. Meditation has become an essential part of my personal wellness plan and a program I frequently recommend to my clients. It's also good to be more aware of your diet, to remove inflammatory foods, and only your body can tell you what those are. Somatic healing for trauma, PTSD, environmental damage is the future of our world, and there are many somatic healers available to benefit our healing processes and to work with us. I highly recommend daily probiotics to help support that gut-brain axis and overall health. Stress managing is really important, and the way we do that is by understanding what calms us, understanding what our body specifically needs us to do, and to honor that and to do it. But effectively addressing the trauma imprints in the limbic system could really be the missing piece for many people to heal, feel better, and live lives that are free from attachments to the past. EFP tapping is a wonderful and powerful neuroplasticity tool, and I highly suggest that. Brainspotting, wow, it's so powerful. It's a focused treatment method that works by identifying, processing, and releasing core neuropsychological sources of emotional body pain, trauma, dissociation, and a variety of other challenging symptoms. So using biolateral sound, Brainspotting engages deep parts of the brain to release stored traumatic memories and experiences. The imprints, people, we are going right to the imprints, the source, thereby allowing the brain to process hurtful and overwhelming content, locate, focus, process, and release experiences and symptoms that are typically out of reach of the conscious mind, which is why we haven't been able to heal them in its cognitive and language capacity. It works with the deep brain in the body through its direct access to the autonomic and limbic systems within the body's central nervous system. And it has profound psychological, emotional, and physical consequences to our healing. And I know there are some therapists that do really intense brain spotting therapies. I believe the closest one might be in Clarksville, but if you're interested in that, please let me know and I will get you the resources. The thing that I've been doing for years, sound healing therapies, when I first started using sound as a healing therapy 25 years ago, most people thought I was a nutso, but now, wonderfully, it's being used in medical facilities across the globe to address PTSD and its associating symptoms, including like anxiety, sleep challenges, grief, depression, anger, panic attacks. It's shown remarkable success in helping lessen the tremors in Parkinson's patients, in calming autistic adults, and in helping the anxious and agitated in homeless shelters quickly achieve and maintain a state of peace and homeostasis in the brain. So, sound healing therapies are also used to address fibromyalgia, digestive issues, and autoimmune disorders, and to boost the immune system. So I've been working on some new Soma healing techniques to facilitate healing in the limbic system to clear old trauma and clear the way for new beginnings, because being present in every moment without the burden of carrying the past or worrying about the future because the past has taught us that we can't trust our own process. That's an illusion. It may have served us at one time, but it's time to let go of processes that no longer serve our highest good and step into the light with a whole new outlook. So I am offering somatic sessions using sound and frequency, curated specifically for you. And it's really important There are things that you can do. There are frequencies that you can use. I will put some links to some below that I feel like would be really helpful for you. A couple of my own that I've done. But as for now, I return you to your own sacred vibration, understanding that sound moves matter. It moves stuck energy. And now it's the time to heal the trauma, not only for ourselves, but for our families, for our communities, and for the world. So understanding how trauma lives in us and where it lives in us can help us process what we need to process and heal what we need to heal at the specific location. And that's why I am so looking forward to this coming year and all of the beautiful healing processes as everyone starts focusing on this specific area in the brain and gets to work on healing and living and loving and experiencing the light more fully. So that's it. I hope this was helpful. If you've got any questions, as always, please send me a message and I'm happy to answer. Happy to work with you. Please let me know if you need anything. I wish you love, light, and a beautiful day.